What you do?
That just popped up. That's strange.
Oh, I see somebody camera in there.
Someone was watching.
Who?
Someone's watching. Who?
Hey everybody, we just waiting to build up a little bit. I see who camera. Do you see somebody camera now? I got my camera right there. But anyway, I'm not. Just a minute. All right, y'all, come on in.
That's all the people that's popping up on mine.
So you heard the volume on there? Look at yours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They be like.
You just told us.
Nikki's watching.
All right, how you guys? We are getting ready to get started. It is 7:01, and I'm a little razzle dazzle. That 35W South is
Yeah,
closed.
it's no joke.
Oh my God, I had to go all the way around and get up here, but we are here. So, and we want to send a shout out to Ebony.
We miss you tonight, Ebony.
So we'll, Ebony. So tonight, we got a juicy.
Is it really juicy or is it just kind of?
It's juicy.
Is it juicy?
I don't know. I think it's juicy. What you think?
Yeah, I think it's juicy.
Okay.
I think it's a good one.
Right. So, I guess everybody could pretty much. I'm 43. I don't know if y'all gonna disclose y'all age.
I'm 43.
43. Oh.
Yeah, you a month. You got me a month.
Oh yeah, you older than me.
No, you older than me.
Okay.
This
Well,
one just I want to say
28.
happy birthday to
Right,
this one. She
happy
just had her birthday this
birthday.
past week.
So she
Yeah, I'm 45 now.
Oh yeah, that's good. So we got this topic. We were just like conversating when we went swimming, and
Yeah.
we was kind of thinking of some stuff because we was talking about some situations that we've been through, and just generally talking about it. We came up with this subject of why or do we settle after 40? And originally we was just gonna say women. But I think some men, they settle
I
for some
think so
stuff
too.
after 40 because
yeah.
of their fears. So
But we don't know because they won't tell us.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not.
but we talk amongst each other.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
we can only go by women's opinion unless you guys chime in tonight and let us know what men settle for. We are going to be going by what women say.
So everybody chime in if you want. We can. We got Angie Taylor. Hi, how are you?
Hey.
This is gonna be a good topic. All the 40 plus, y'all. Make sure you share and invite people to come on. So I guess we can kind of go down. I came up with a couple of. I think we all did our research. We have what we kind of wanted to talk about. We're gonna say the best for last, which will probably take up most of the time. But we will kind of go for. I had just made like 3 categories. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it because, of course, relationships would tear this whole hour up.
Right. So
But
we're going to do that one for last?
right, we're gonna
Okay.
do it. We're gonna say the best for last for the relationship part.
Okay.
So I guess if everyone had one, after 40, do we settle for different friendships? Is it a difference versus like, oh, I just need a friend, or do we kind of stick to that thing about when we were younger, how we would just, pluck them? That's not my friend, or she my friend, or
So you're saying when you were younger, you used to, like, you wanted a lot of friends?
No, I just think when I was younger, you can decipher pretty quickly who were your friends.
Okay.
And I think at 40, you start to value friendships more so, like, you use my eyeliner, so you're not my friend. I mean, it was kind of like immature
Yes,
back
I
then
see,
to
I
now,
see, yes.
like, you kind of reevaluate the friendships of, at the age of 40.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I do. Because
I'm
I
very-
mean, my circle used to be huge, and then I had to reevaluate that. Now I have a small circle because I realized who my true friends were. And of course, when I weeded out the ones that they still to this very day, you know what I mean? Still to this very second, I don't deal with them and they don't deal with me. So that basically let me know that I did right by weeding out
Right.
who I really don't deal with.
Right, because there's a difference between friends and associates.
Mhm.
You have a lot of associates, probably a ton of associates on
Right.
Facebook, but the friends are the ones that you do stuff with, that you talk to and confide in. So that's a big difference too. And you're right. I think growing up, I like having a lot of friends, and I think now I prefer it small.
Right.
I
Yeah.
totally prefer it smaller and close. And I tell people, new people that I meet, when I say oh well, I already have my friend group set. I hate to say it that way. I already have my friend group set, but it doesn't mean that I'm not open. I'm really not open.
Right.
I just because I
You
just really want.
right. There's a lot of
You have your friends at work and you deal with them at work.
Right.
You have your friends that you deal with in your personal life and you deal with them in your personal life. So
Right.
I think it's also kind of breaks down to that too. So
Do you think we start to settle at 40 for friendships? Like if a person you don't
I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but I don't need new friends.
Right.
I don't need new friends. I just don't. I'm very comfortable with the people that already know me and I know them. That means trying to learn somebody new, I'm too old. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm too old for the game plan. I'm too old to be trying to compete for somebody's friendship.
Right.
I don't do that.
And I think more so after 40 that you can kind of decipher that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting that long played out, of events and all that stuff that are you my friend or aren't you my friend? But after 40 you can kind of pick up real quick like that's not a good person that I need in my life, or this is a good person that I need in my life, or how does this person fit into my life?
Right.
Yeah. So.
And would this friend be a good friend, a fit for all my other friends? Because
Right.
you always got that one friend that you can't do nothing with. You got to just be you and her.
Bring them around.
Right. So I think after 40, so with the friendship I had deciphered ones to keep. Do we have a lot more or less? I think at 40 I have less. I've never thought after 40 I would have less.
Yeah,
because when you get 40 you kind of understand what you need in your life. So it's like I said, it's kind of easy to be like, nope, yep, nope. So because I was a person that always had a lot of friends. And like for me right now, it's like this is a small little knit that after 40, I became more aware of just I was going to say a cuss word, but I mean, I just noticed everything now that, like that was not good for me. Even when I was in my 30s, it's like you try to keep these people around. You want them to grow with you. As you get older, you want them to celebrate you with your, your grandkids and, your next stages of life. But I just think at 40 is like that settling part, because it seems to me that that's when it starts to get good after 40 to me. So, now it's quickly like, you kind of want and desire the things that you need, not settling for things that you have to have. But so that kind of works out for me. Let's see. I noticed I put gather more to kick it. So I say after 40, it's easier to choose people to call when you want to do some fun activities. Like after 40, like I know to call you to go horseback riding. I know to call you to go, you know what I mean? So
certain friends do certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's like settling though. I just think it's like you put the people in position to know what you want to do at 40. So I don't know if y'all want to elaborate on that, but after 40 I noticed that. And then let's see. Oh yeah, it said and after 40 I put that you also desire what you need in a friendship. So then you won't settle. So that's kind of going to entwine into the relationship part, because after 40 you kind of know what you desire for a friendship.
Right.
Yeah. The real ones.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my one that I had for the friendship part.
I was thinking more so for myself, work settling. Do we settle on our jobs? For me, I don't know if it's settling or not. It's like I want a different position, but because the company that I work for wants a degree, and I don't have a degree, so I kind of feel like I'm settling in the spot where I'm at, whereby I could easily just start looking for other companies that may be hiring someone that, is willing to pay a little bit more.
Right.
But I'm kind of comfortable where I'm at, so maybe I am settling at work.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a comment here. This one is from Demarius. It says, it takes men till about 40 to be right with themselves. Women being mature 15 years before a man gets mature. When women get around 40, they just aren't playing with guys talking BS anymore.
Oh yeah, we gonna say that comment for the relationship part. What's his name?
Know what they want,
Demarius.
exactly what they're looking for. That's Demarius. Richard. Now Dwayne says, mannish, maybe-ish, but I'll never again settle. I have way too much to offer.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
2 men.
Okay.
Thanks,
so
guys.
Yeah, we're gonna come back on. We got to come back to
Yeah,
those
we
for
might
the
have to read
relationship.
those ones again.
But you know what? For a job too, I thought that I think after 40, I don't think that we really settle for our job because we did our jobs as like parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if this is the stage that we can do what we want to do. I mean, that's how I feel right now in the job point. So it's really not settling, but I know we still have to make a career out of something, but we don't have to settle for that corporate job. I just think I was in corporate for like 17 years. Like, that was ridiculous. But I wanted to do something else, but I didn't because I had children, you know, to raise a family, so.
Yeah, I get it. So for me, in my position, I can't make friends. Okay, because then I would be showing favoritisms amongst the people of my staff, my office. Because I manage, because I'm in the position that I'm in, I cannot make friends with anybody. So I have to treat everybody pretty much fair across the board. So if I say one thing to one person, it's the same for the whole staff.
Yeah.
Because if I'm friendly with you, then everybody will think that me and you are best buds. You know what I mean? So in my position, I can't make friends. Now, I deal with everybody on the same level. Anybody that asks me a question, I'm going to give it to you just like I'll give it to everybody else.
Right.
So I can't even really say I have friends on the job, not in my position. Because of the position,
Right.
I have to maintain a professional type.
Mannerism.
Exactly.
In the
So,
workplace, yeah.
And then I heard, I actually put this question out there. Some people say that they settle because of where they're at, and now that they have younger people that's coming into their position and they're paying them like less salary than they're paying for them because they've been there and they're older than 40. So you get someone who's like 26 come in and they're doing the same job, but they're younger, so they just pretty much like settle for the position and not go any further because they're scared because of if they do, like we could bring somebody in that's under 40 that will get paid less. So a lot of people say, to do their job.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't have that fear only because I know the experience, the certificates, the license, and the things that I carry. So I know with my position where I'm going, I'll compete with 20-year-olds all day long.
All day.
You know what I mean? And I'm still gonna get the job over them because of the experience, because of what I have. So that isn't a fear for me. I don't look at it that way, but I will say this: when I was starting out in my career, I do remember settling for less just to get my foot in the door.
Yeah.
But I knew at that point we climbing that ladder,
Right.
and there's no stopping at that point. And even
Right.
to this very moment, I'm still going to continue to climb that corporate ladder till I'm all the way to the complete top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
So, do you have another one?
No, I was.
Before we get to the juicy part. All right. So, since we got that out the way, so anybody can say anything if they think that they're settling after 40 for their jobs or friendship. We kind of sharing our experiences as far as that. But what the topic really stimulated from was relationships. Woo! Okay. I got a long list though for that one. Okay, so relationships versus 20s, 30s versus your 40s.
Yeah.
So we was kind of talking about like dating because only us two are single. So we kind of put it out there to see where we settling for different things that was unusual. And I know I'm gonna speak first because y'all know I don't care. But I was just like really like some of the things that I found myself in some situations while I'm dating to be like, am I really settling because of the age? Because you hear people like, my son is 25. Can I really date a 28-year-old? Can I really date a 30? You know what I mean? So it would have to be 40 plus
Right.
in order for just who I am to support what I do or anything. So, but in saying that, it's like, okay, you get to 40 and I don't know if anybody could send a heart or whatever, you get to the scare factor. Because I know some women that's 40 plus, like they like, oh, I got a 28-year-old boyfriend. And you know, I don't know if they like really thinking it's a long-term commitment thing, but it's like I cannot see myself with a 28-year-old or a 30. I can't even see myself like I'd say probably 38 would be like, I don't know, but I mean like that's just kind of, you got kids that's like 25, you know, so that doesn't fit well.
yeah, but is it just when they're younger like that? Is it just fun, or are you actually talking about settling for future?
Right, and that's what I'm wondering. I would never look. I would never do that because I'm like, my son is 25. Like these are like grown men, like 15, 16 size shoes. So it's like, how could I even like to me, their mentality ain't even the same as mine. Like, what kind of conversation? It'll be just as if I'm talking to my son. So, but in saying that, I was saying because I'm 40, so you go to, I've never dated like older guys, but then when I stepped into that arena, I was like, they are just as worse as
just as bad as the younger ones.
Right, I'm like, wait a minute, like I don't get this, but I'm like trying to bash. I know all men are not like that, but I was just like, oh my God, I'm listening to it, and then I'm like, so some of the things that I did discover when I was dating the person was like, did I settle? You know, that's how we started the conversation. Like, what? Like, if he would have said that to me when I was like 25, like, you would have been like, well, gone.
Right.
But I don't know, is it because we have more patience? Or is it because we just
want to be in a relationship?
Right. But it's, I don't know. I mean, you could probably talk about it, because I'm just saying, like, for me, I just was like, you know, when we was talking, it's like, after 40, do we settle for some stuff? Because me and you was getting pissed off talking about, like, did we just let that
Oh yeah.
so-and-so do that? And it's like, why? Is it because we 40 and not, you know, have a greater expectation?
I think for me, so I was married for almost 20 years. So for me, it was like dating, just trying to get a feel of different men.
Right.
So I kind of would talk to just different men, just trying to get a feel of the age, where their mindset was, what they had to offer. I mean, as far as growing together, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say so much that we're settling. I just would say we're getting a feel, just trying to see where men are at. Because if that's the case, we would be in relationships. Then I would say we'd settle. We have settled.
Right.
We haven't settled yet. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like we're kind of getting a feel, just trying to see where men are at this point. Are they compatible? Are we compatible? Are we not compatible?
Yeah, but when do you realize when you're out there dating a guy if he's worth keeping around or...
Right, and so that's good that you said that, because Angie Taylor said, is settling the same as ignoring red flags?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I feel.
Women do
like,
it all the time, I think.
Right, because I mean, like, there's nothing, there is not anything me and a 28-year-old could talk about.
Right.
Nothing. I mean, like, and it's cute though. Like, it ain't like they don't come and be like, "What's up with you? Let me get your number." It's like, little boy, like,
right. Boy,
no. So
right.
when you say that you know, do you feel like it because you said that you will? She's so guilty.
I like them young.
Oh,
I do. But I don't like them
Lord,
too
Jesus.
young. Now my little brother's 30. That's the cap for me. 30 is the cap for me.
Really?
I won't go as young as EJ. Anybody EJ's age. But see, I'm just talking. There isn't anything to it. I just want to see where your mindset is. Because there are some mature 30-year-olds. There are some mature men
I think
that
I
are
would
out
always
there.
look at the age factor. I don't know.
I know, I have an issue too. I would think that too.
But as far as like settling, would I ever settle with someone younger? 9 times out of 10, probably not.
But what if he was mature though, and like you said, had a mind going, had a career, had all this stuff going on, like.
I think my fear with that point would be, let's just say I'm 50 and he's 30. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then your eyes get to wondering because
right.
I'm getting older. Right. I wouldn't want it that way. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting older. I'm starting to look my age, and you still young, and then your eyes start looking at a 30-year-old or someone younger. So I prefer an older man, so that way when we age, we're aging together.
Mm-hmm. But
that
what about
way,
when the man ages? He looks his age where you don't look your age.
Oh, that happens all the time. That's all the time. That's all the time. Because, like I said, I'm 43. I don't look 43.
Right.
But most people, like, I get babies, like young guys, literally trying to hit on me.
Yeah.
Like, literally young guys. So I don't look my age, so that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
So Angie said that older does not equal wiser.
That's
Girl,
the truth.
I wish you was. We should bring you on, Angie. Angie, if you want to come on, give us a thumbs up. Cause you know what? I swear, because look, y'all gotta know I've been married this whole entire time, and it was like, oh my God, to meet these 50-year-olds that's like 10-year-olds. It's like it kind of just defeated the whole purpose of me being like.
Read your comment.
Wait.
Mr. Stonewall says, you're walking the fine line there. Either you are into younger men or you're not.
Well, give him an answer.
I know, because she needs to.
If he was listening carefully to what I said my preference I would not settle with a younger man. I would want an older man so that we could age together
Oh, yeah.
gracefully.
Yeah.
That's what I said. So
I don't even
there's
wanna
my
play with it.
answer to that. So it isn't for me either or, it's older.
But okay, so as I was saying, I'm telling y'all that I had a 50, like she said, older does not equal wiser. I had, the 50-year-olds were like the worst. Like, for me, it felt like it was like dating back in the days when I was dating
Young
20s
boys.
and 30s.
Now, why?
just
What
like
were they doing?
I don't know. It was just like at 53, and maybe it's because, and like I wish the men were on here, because it's like at 50, in my only opinion, in my conception of things, is like they have been through a lot. So therefore, some of the things that you're discussing, some of the things that you're planning, some things that you're doing, like you will already think that they have a head start on it. So
Right.
when you don't, okay, so here's one thing that I can say that I can confess and say that I settled for. Barbecuing. I've never not met a man that did not know how to barbecue, and I'm an event planner. Like, I love to have family functions at my house. I love to do things. I love to have people over. But to understand that, like, a 50-year-old could not barbecue. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's so, I mean, like, and maybe it may seem petty, but I was like, I cannot settle for this. Why? Because at 40, I know that I love to have people over. I love to have that person
Dwayne,
on the
chime in, please.
on the
Patrick,
grill,
chime in.
on the grill, all that stuff. And it's like, so for me, I was contemplating, like, is this settling? Because it is, because I figured out what I like to do, and he could not be to fit in that part of it.
Mhm.
So,
And I think that when you're dating, or at least when I was dating, I had a list. You know what I mean? So I've been married twice. So my husband now is my second husband. So I think after the first time, you kind of learn what you want the next time around and what you don't. And I think this next time, like my first husband was the youngest of his siblings, so he was pretty much the baby and the only boy, so he was pretty much, I don't want to say worthless, but he really wasn't. He really didn't have those manly man features,
Right.
you know, but that was like one from high school. So then now my husband, I totally knew that I didn't want him, because I didn't have children, I didn't want him to have children. He had to be a handyman, he had to be able to fix stuff around the house, he had to be car knowledge. He just had to have certain things. He had to know how to cook, because I don't like to cook.
okay.
So, you know, I just went down, and I knew that if you didn't do those three, those are the main things in religion. He had to believe what I believe. If you didn't do those four things, that was it. I didn't waste time.
Do you think it was anything that you settled for, though? Well, no, you were young when you got with him.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
like 17
So we
years.
talking about what we got to do now, like going forward. So if you did not have your husband, what would be the things that you would not settle for at 45?
Oh, that's tough.
Did
What
you
would
ever
I
think
settle
about
for? I never thought about that before. What would I not deal with?
Pettiness.
Ooh. I don't think I
Oh.
could deal. You gotta be open
Petty.
for me. I
Ooh,
can't have a
be
man that's
petty.
running in behind me, calling me and texting me 1,000 times a day. What are you doing? I don't like that. I like my space.
Mhm.
I'm a Cancer, so I like to do pretty much what I want when I want to do it.
Right.
I don't want anybody running in behind me. That would annoy the hell out of me. So I guess that would be the main one.
Mm-hmm. That one for me is the pettiness. That was a big issue for me as well. Like, and I'm just talking, I'm actually not dating right now, but the person that I was dating was like petty.
Mm-hmm.
That is so annoying to me, like, to be so petty. Like, if you don't do this, I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
And you're like, at 50?
Yeah.
At 50 plus. That is like, that was so annoying. And I was like, and so these are the things that I was looking at as I was like hanging out and doing stuff. I was like, this is like settling. Like, I don't have to, because either way, I already experienced marriage. It's a beautiful thing. I am not regretful for any of my marriages. They were beautiful because I got an opportunity to, you know, really have that moment to know that what it was. But it's like at this point, like, I'm like, am I really gonna get married again? You know, but I just know for sure that it won't be, you know, something that I would just have to settle for. And I know a lot of women beat themselves up like, I'm too old now, I can't do that. And I hate that, because I'm like, there's still life. You know, you still can do, you know, whatever you want to do at 40, 50, or 60. It's just depending on what things make you happy and what things you are, you know, that you want to present to the relationship. So,
Right.
Tenu said, is that Tenu how you say it?
Yes.
He said, let's not confuse settling with compromising, because in a relationship you have to compromise.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's in any relationship, whether it's
Right.
40 or not. So
Yeah.
compromise comes
Yeah.
with relationship. That's just part of a relationship.
Yeah, it's
to
give
me.
and take. It's
To
give and
me.
take. If the lover tells me no going out tonight,
Mhm.
you know, and I was just out 2 nights ago, then it is what it is. I can't go out, girls. See you next time. You know,
Right.
I don't want to piss them off.
So what I mean, I just compromise is way different than settling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, compromise means you both working together. Settling means it's only gonna work one way.
Yeah.
To me, and I just don't think that's not.
Settling is dealing with. Settling is when you are here,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I
Dumb me
mean.
down, as they
But
say
then
today.
you take this guy because for whatever reason, your
Right.
self-esteem may be low. You may not want to be alone, so you just kind of deal with this guy that's not on your level
Mhm.
because of those reasons. I think
Right.
a lot of women do that.
Yeah, I do too. But a lot of women don't talk about it because in their world it's just like, oh no, I'm not settling. I hear so many excuses like I'm not a relationship guru, but I've been through enough to be like, I don't give people. I just stand by you. I try to I don't give my opinion as much. But it's like when I hear some of the stuff like the reasoning of why they accept the settle, I just don't get that. And I mean, like, and I've been there before, and I've just got it all figured out. But I know that I have settled for different things, and it's like when you get to that point, like I don't have to do that. And I don't know what everybody's just making like 40 is such like old to
Because it's not really.
right. It's really
Not
not.
to me. It's not old.
I think it starts over at 40. To be
I know, I
honest.
think it's
really
the best.
do because your kids are already at a stage where you don't have to. They're not relying on you, and life starts over.
Somebody, I'm not gonna say that. They said I have settled on the fact that I will never see my $5 that somebody owes me.
Who owes somebody? Who said that? I can't say.
Tanu.
You ain't talking about me. I know you ain't talking about me because I don't owe you no money.
So we got some men on here. So Robert, we would love for you guys to chime in. We got Robert, Yolanda, Carmen, Means. How you guys doing? JB Brown.
I want to address Stonewall.
Just want to
'cause
say hi to you guys.
he don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that I would never date a young man. I would talk, to see where their head is, to see if they're mature. I wouldn't say, I just said that as far as aging together, I think it would probably be an older man because his eyes may not wander as fast as a younger guy.
But
That's what I kind of
And that's your preference.
Right.
And again,
I get
it
it.
is my preference, but the way he made his comment is if,
So your
Wow.
preference is you prefer older.
well,
But she'll
I like
dibble
them
and dabble
too,
in younger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
So you'll
discriminate.
play-
Let's put it like
you'll
this.
play.
I don't discriminate.
Oh.
I don't discriminate.
Okay.
So whether it's
I
younger
ain't
or older,
babysitting.
it just depends.
I am not
I ain't
It
babysitting.
depends on how young though, because you
Ooh,
said
Jesus.
38 was the youngest you would go,
I think. Yeah, I don't know. 38 probably would be.
and you can't really.
She
But
can't
if I
really-
was single, I think that probably. I can't imagine anybody under 40 because I like them older. I like salt and pepper. I like all that. So I don't really like them young.
But you're older than us too, so 40 would be a good cap for you.
Yeah, that would be a
40
good
would
cat
be
for me.
that. Mhm.
But I wouldn't want anybody 40.
So we said, I had a couple of things about the fears of settling. I mean, you settle because of what fears? And I came up with like, you getting old, we already talked about that, loneliness. I know a lot of people settle because they're lonely. We see that all the time on a daily basis, but after 40, people tend to say that's, because I'm lonely. And well, I know older women like 60s and 70s, like older women would be like, well, I was lonely, so I kind of put up with different type of things to settle for, just so I can have somebody. I don't want to die alone.
So
I heard that before.
So you think that starts around age 40 that women start thinking about that?
I don't know.
You guys don't think about it?
Not anymore.
No,
I like being at home by
I was
myself.
about to say, I'm very content, very comfortable with how I live my
But
life.
see, we've been married before. I think it'd be unfair for somebody that hasn't had the experience.
Right.
Like, no, I want to be laying in the bed by myself.
I enjoy peace and quiet. I get
Right,
it.
I'm going to go to your house and then I'm going to come home because,
Right.
no, I don't want to wake up to the I did a survey. They said that they were exhausted. So when you get to like 40 and older, you start to get exhausted about just the challenges of what's going on in the world. Let me bring this up right now, because the twerking, I still got the slow wine. So it's like, that's when you say, like, when I think about a 28-year-old, like, girl, who gonna be twerking? Everybody's twerking right now. Girl, I got the slow, that's all I got left in me is the slow wine. So what? You know what I mean? It's just a different perceptions of what people want these days. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at 40, like we cannot keep up with these shit. Girl, have you been to the club lately? I'm out of breath, like after the second song. And I remember I used to dance the whole night.
The whole song, exactly, the whole night.
Like, I'm going to sit down. So it's like,
Yeah.
so not that, but we wasn't talking about the physical being exhausted physically. We were basically just saying, like, some women are like, I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted with I'm going to settle with him cheating. I'm going to settle with him doing this. I'm going to settle with him doing this because I'm tired of going through his phone. I'm tired of looking for him. I'm tired of this.
More or less mentally, not the physical.
Yeah, not the
I know
physical. I was
some
being
40-year-olds that can, not trying to be funny, but their sexual drive can go
Yeah.
a long time. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's at its peak at 40, actually.
Exactly. So I
Because
wouldn't
you really
say
don't.
the physical
women?
part, but
Yeah.
there was 2 comments by 2 men.
These men-
Stonewall again says, yes, the fear of being alone, so we settle for the first person who smiles at us. And then
Oh, a man said that?
Prince, your friend,
Oh, okay.
I'm 37, no kids, educated, and recently single. How do you all feel about slightly younger men that's established?
Ooh.
He's got more. But wants to be a father. I hear you on talking about older men, but what about slightly younger men who are mature? Tiffany?
That ain't
Yeah.
for me.
I don't have no
He's
comment,
37.
but
You said 38.
I said 38.
He's 37. He's
Okay, so no,
established.
wait. Right, but the factor of children.
He ain't got no kids.
He
Right,
wants
but he
kids.
wants kids. You can't have kids.
No mas children.
No. That's the
That
part.
comes to compromise in a relationship.
No, that's
so
because the
ladies.
settlement. I don't want no more kids.
Okay,
girl.
so are you saying you're gonna have a child with
Right. Little Nina.
Yeah, you said
You're
Okay, out of fairness, in a case like him who has no kids, it wouldn't be something that I would X out. It wouldn't be something that I would
There
be
you
like,
go,
no.
Prince.
No,
There you
I'm
go,
just saying-
Prince.
Look.
I'm just saying, if it was a man who wanted
Well,
established,
I'ma
he
be-
wanted children. I mean, at 40, like you're settled basically.
So how old is your last child?
He's 16.
So you're saying that you would have a
she
baby
go
for a
with
man
him.
37?
Why are you asking?
Because the thing
saying.
about it is that he wanted to. No, this is my best friend, y'all. Prince, he is my best friend, and the whole time I love him. But no, that is the thing. Like, he wants children. He is established. He's cool. He's nice looking. He got a lot going on for himself. But the issue is that he wants children. And so that's the thing about it. And moving forward, as he's going up the career ladder and doing things, I hope you don't mind I'm telling your business. But brother, I got you a potential. Okay, I'm sorry. See, like you said, you like him 37.
I'm just
But you
saying,
have a baby. But you have a
compromise part of the
16-year-old.
relationship, though.
My baby is 22. So I cannot, and I have grandchildren now. So I actually wanted a kid at like 39. I was gonna have another kid, but my daughter had a child. So that wouldn't. I mean, mother and grandmother having kids at the same time. That's not doable
it's all
for me.
the time. I see it all
You
the
know?
time. I see it
No,
all
I
the
just
time.
my beliefs. I just don't think that's cool.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
understand that. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. Don't get me wrong, but I see it in
Yeah,
certain
it happens,
areas.
yeah.
It's very common.
yeah, I know. So that was the thing about it. Like at 40, so it's like you will be a good candidate because he is looking for kids. And your I didn't know your baby was 16. So, I mean, you
my
still
oldest is 18. My
Piping,
youngest is
ready to
16.
go.
Why are you?
I'm just saying, you ready to
I'm
go
just
to?
saying,
girl,
as
you
far
see
as
this
the
gray hair?
compromising of the relationship. That's all I'm saying. That comes with the relationship. Compromise. I mean, y'all wouldn't give it a thought. I mean,
Okay, but here's the thing. I guess in a situation like that, on the first date, that would be the topic of conversation,
date?
and we would know going forward that I'm not the one for you because I already know that I'm not going to have kids. So you wouldn't be wasting your time on me. It wouldn't be considered dating because we would know on the first date and conversation that,
What you're looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim,
so
you
for me,
said.
that wouldn't work.
Tim, you said kids ruin everything.
They
so
do not.
mean.
He is mean. They do not. They make
I would think because I think at 40, like, who wants a little bitty baby running around the house? I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, for me, I would not. That's an absolutely no.
No.
For me.
Yeah.
That'd be a no for me. And but that would be just in my opinion. But, so.
So Edie's open to it.
Right.
The rest of us are at the hell no.
Okay, so then I had another one. The settling part. By 40, people are already settled. I just can't. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that because I'm still trying to get my life and career to a certain position. But I mean, a path is somewhat a foundation is somewhat laid. You know what I mean? Because I ran into people like at 40 and above, like I'm not settling for someone who is like just stuck. You know what I mean? Because life is always about daily promises, daily things, and I don't want to say like I'm leaning away from the career part. I'm just saying like to just have life. You know what I mean? Like to expect new things, maybe want to buy a bigger house, you know, maybe want to do something. Like for me, I just can't get to a place where I'm not settling for someone that's just stuck. Like I'm okay with this house, I'm okay with this car, I'm okay with this.
No ambition.
Right. Like
Okay.
I'm just stuck here, and it's like we not gonna do anything else because understand the kids are out the house. You finally got freedom. You finally get time to do stuff. You finally should have like a financial nest.
That's right.
You know, like so. I'm not settling for someone that's 50. I actually put people are already settled by 40. So I don't want to say like you should have your career by 40 because then I'll be a hypocrite because I'm not. But I'm just like you should have some kind of contentment at 40. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do know women that do settle for somebody trying to figure it out. Like at 40, you should have some idea
Of what you want.
Right, in my opinion, I just think so. So,
I agree.
so would you be settling if you went with someone would you settle for someone that didn't have their journey?
There's stuff
It
in
depends
place.
on the situation, and when I say that, they could have fell on hard times, and something could have happened to where they're not on track, but they're working to be back on track and working for that goal. I mean, you can't knock no one for trying. You can't knock. I mean, like I said, it depends on the situation. Anything can happen to anybody.
What if they were just a total?
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
Loser.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a total loser. You're not even in my
Well,
circle.
what about
I'm
if
not
they just
even.
getting it
I'm not even
together?
trying to see you. I'm gonna look right past you.
What if they're just now getting it together at this stage of life?
Again,
Like they were
I don't-
hood, and then they grew out
I
of
don't
the
have the
hood,
patience for
and
it.
now
I
they're
don't
just
have
now
the
getting their life path on track.
I don't have the patience for it.
But
I
you
don't.
like them hood.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
what to do with that.
Thank you.
Lord, girl. Well, it is a poor opinion, so we don't know what's going to happen over here.
You know that.
Okay, sorry.
So wait a minute. Oh, she gonna overlook it. We gonna pass it, so you know what?
What? No,
I'm not
just
even.
saying,
Who is still hood at 40?
I don't know.
They grow out of it, but they still got them ways that creep up every now and again.
I mean, they can creep up.
Yeah, they could be hood when they was younger, but when they're older, 9 times out of 10, they are on path, they are on track. And to clarify, yes.
Well, you said
I'm versatile, you know. I'm versatile.
Girl.
I can take them professional or hood,
She is. I can't. No
Whoa,
hood. No hood. That
not me
scares me.
anymore. I mean, they gotta have a little swag, I guess they would say. So Andy said, no more falling in love with potential. That's right. After
No.
40, you like, you better have something. I mean, it's like, and then they don't, I mean, just, yeah. You can't look at potential at 40 because it's like 10 more years, you're 50.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, Paris just said something. He said at 40, 50, if you're not established, that's a parked car.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because how long is it going to take you to figure it out?
Yeah. Start it up and get it going.
Right.
So, I mean, like, so 40, I mean, it's like, for me, I always say this, and it's kind of cliche, but I'm like, okay, the life expectancy for African American is what, 70 or 80? And it's like, you got 40 more years. So we all 40 something, so we pretty much, I mean, it's like, you don't want to waste the rest of your time, you know, waiting for somebody who got potential, or waiting
To get
for,
it
you know,
together.
yeah. So, but I mean, like, is there anything that you would settle for in that arena?
Well, Nunu says,
Nunu.
never say never. Hey, Nunu, never say never unless you cross that bridge. About children, I would never settle just to say I have a a man.
Yeah.
So she's saying she would never have a
She
a
said
kid
never say
or a
never.
man just to say
Right, she said, never say never unless you cross that bridge about children. I will never
Girl.
settle just to say I have a man.
Yeah.
I already crossed that bridge, and I'm saying I would never have a child
She
for
said
nobody.
she had her youngest at 40.
Girl.
My other girlfriend, she had a kid at 40.
Mm-mm. Okay, so Robert Barnes said, first of all, he wanted to know what does it mean by what our perspective is, our opinion of settling is. And then he said, hood, I'm hood, but I'm about business. You can put me in a room full of CEOs, excuse me, or a room full of gangsters, and I adapt to my environment.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Robert.
Robert?
Exactly. That's what
That's
I'm
my brother-in-law. Hey, Robert. But I know, but I kind of get what he's talking about. That's a different kind of hood. We're talking about somebody that's still playing the PlayStation at 40,
Oh, no.
working at, and not knocking anybody's career, because maybe if time gets hard, I'll work at a restaurant too. But
Right.
I'm just saying somebody that's like potentially like they are okay with where they're at, and it's like no minimum wage is okay if you have to work an extra job, but it's like you have a family, like that can't be where you're gonna be at forever at 40.
When I was referring
Or you
to
gonna work
hood,
3 jobs because
When I
that's
was-
$30 an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's too much. That's
Mhm.
Jamaican. What I was sorry. What I was referring to when I was talking about hood, I
Put it
was-
all on today. Put it all on
What's
today.
in your cup, girl?
Give
Is that
me
water?
what I was referring to is like I know a guy. He's like 56, but he has like 2 girlfriends, and they both know about each other.
Right.
And he's just as thuggy as they come, and I don't understand it. Like, what woman would want something like that?
I don't know. I mean, I like they gotta have something to them. Now, I don't like corporate dudes, so that wouldn't work for me as well. But I do know, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of. I mean, my perspective now is like since I've been through so much within the last couple of years, it's like, man, like when you and it's a great thing when people say once you get to a. I mean, my whole life I used to be like, you need to be by yourself. You need to be by yourself. Be by yourself. You know, because it was like from marriage to marriage to marriage to relationship. You know, so I never had that moment to like think. And I know I was one of the guilty, like I was notorious for getting married, notorious for dating, notorious for somebody. My brother said to me, I hope he watching when I came to the family reunion. He was like, well, no, a birthday party. He was like, come take this picture with us because you by yourself this year. And I'm like really? But it's funny, but it's like I'm just a relational type of person. But now that I've been by myself, like to, you know, once you come out of stuff, you kind of could look at those things like, what did I settle for? And then, like I said, that's what ignited this conversation, because it was like, what was the things that I was settling for? Why was I scared? Or why did I do this? And it's like, and I know it started to creep up like 35. Because you get in the fear of all your kids are leaving, they going to college. I mean, like my house was like being dismantled before my eyes, and it's like, what am I gonna do? You know, I'm not needed no more. I'm not a mother no more. I'm free, and
Right.
it's like, so it took me to go through the certain situations that I went through to finally be like, okay, 75% of it was settling, and I don't know what the fear was, but it was a hard thing to look at. What was I settling for to end up in all those situations? What was I settling for to compromise, you know, for things? And that's why the outcome of things came the way they did. So that's why I was like, this is a perfect conversation, because women don't tell the truth. You know, they make it seem to be like, you know, I know people settle for money. I know people that's in a relationship that just settle before, you know, for the financial purposes. I know people that settle for insecurities. I know people that settle for just they're afraid to be alone. But, you know, you need to speak about it, because those things could be treacherous to your life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm like you because of what I've been through. I don't judge anybody, and I don't judge a situation. Like, I'm open-minded to it, so I can't sit up there and say one man or woman is worse than the other, because like I said, there's all certain things. For me, my focus right now is raising successful black young men.
Right.
That's my goal. Like, a man, if he comes along, that's a plus. Okay, yay, hey, you know. But right now, that isn't my focus. My focus is on my boys. I'm trying to get them to that millionaire status. I'm trying to get them to that billionaire status. So that's my focus at this point, and I'm on track. They're on track. You know, actually say I got some boys that's doing the right thing. Now I haven't settled. I don't feel like at this age I should settle. I know what I want in a man. I know what I'm looking for in a man. And again, if I don't find that, I'll continue to be single.
So do we dibble? So in the downtime, do we dibble and dabble though?
With trash until you figure it out.
Right.
I don't deal with trash.
I don't want to dibble.
You
with
said
trash.
hood. That's one thing. I gave you the hood. I'm not gonna give you trash. I don't mess with trash. I don't do trash.
No, I don't think you do trash.
But she dibble and dabble.
I don't say I dibble dabble with trash. I don't.
Not
do
with trash. I don't think she
do
do
trash.
trash.
I'm
I don't know, but is it okay? I think we could. I think we
could.
could dibble and dabble at 40 though, because now we don't have to make nobody
But
home.
then that goes back to the age. Do you dibble and dabble with
I'm not
somebody
doing no
younger?
young boy. That's like molestation.
So
That's
it's
a pedophile to me.
So you're saying
I
that
can't.
it's just playing.
I mean,
until you
maybe
get
I
somebody
haven't
that
met
you
nobody that's like. Maybe I haven't met my Winston. Maybe I mean, like she said, never say never. But it's just like for me, I'm like, oh, this little boy could not do anything for me. Oh, he would become a stalker. You know what I mean? Like I would. That wouldn't even be right. That's taking advantage of somebody. Ain't nothing that little boy can teach me.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm confident in that.
What about you teaching him?
Yeah.
That's what I
What
said.
you
He gonna
like?
end up being a stalker
Oh.
at 20. Girl, now you. We gonna keep that for after night. You know, we got the after. Y'all stay tuned because we gonna have an after dark.
No, they're not having no after dark, you perverts.
Me and her is having an after episode.
Okay.
Okay, so we go back to Angie. Angie said you can work at McDonald's, but don't hold me accountable for your life choices.
True.
And then Robert Barnes said sometimes we overlook what's good because we're more focused on things that really don't matter. Communication, laughter, happiness is the most important part of a relationship. It's a lot of I can't get the rest of it. But you know what, Robert, you are a rare form. You know, it's like some people, like ideally, like I had always said, like I would have not mind if a person that came from the streets just like me, y'all know who I used to be or how I used to get down in my life. But then it's like to transform into a different person, like I can still get down if I need to be or whatever. It's like, but it's, you know how to balance it, and it taught you a lot of it. It's like your fight of who you became. So I get that part, Robert. Like I get, like, you know, where you from, how you got down, and then you also had to understand what a man is, you know, or should be. But some people can't decipher. Like if I was a GD when I was 16, you cannot be a GD at 40.
Right.
You know, but you could be a GD at 16, lead some teens that's, you know, you 20, now you lead some teens that was 16 to not be GD because you went through this. Like I would love to have a man like that would help grow the process and not be afraid to say who and what they were, instead of like, I'm still 42 and I'm GD and we gang banging and on the G and all that stuff. Like, no, like I can't do nothing with that. I want to be able to have a gang of kids that was my age when I was misled to come with me and then say, let me teach you something. Like I could work with that type of person. But come home, Aaron playing the PlayStation, T-Mike playing the PlayStation, you playing the PlayStation out on a family night, but y'all doing this all day. That's not going to work for me.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. Dinner ain't started, laundry ain't done. No.
Like, no, nothing how to bring it back.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not having a gang meeting in my living room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
So let me read Stonewall. He's really opinionated, and
I
I love
see.
it. I love it. He
How old
says
is he, first of all?
he said he's 46.
Oh.
Okay. So he says, this is Stonewall. He says, I have my own business and I work full time. I've been out of prison for 3 years now. And after doing 15 years, I'll be damn if I don't have my stuff together. I'm single because, the fear of settling. Like the younger lady said, I'm open to dating a younger lady, but when you think about the future with that person, you take their age into account. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, men really don't talk about dating younger women. They really like that.
They do. That's kind of normal.
So they could train them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Stonewall, what's the age you talking about when you say younger women? What's the cap you would be at? What's the youngest you would date? Nichelle says, I'm a serial dater and I like younger men and I love it.
Like she's a serial dater. She's not saying that she'll promise. Girl.
That's okay.
Right.
She's living life.
Right.
Prince
YOLO.
said, Sometimes we settle out of fear of being alone. I settle for less than that reason, but if we know our value, we won't settle for less than our value. Some people's value is $20, and there are some 20 millionaires.
All right, preach. Seriously, because that's the problem with women. That right there. Seriously,
Right.
that is it. And I'm glad a man said it, because
But
I was going to bring it
you
up.
know what? That makes me think of when he just said that. Why do you think women get to that point that they have to settle? Or are settling? Or men, not just women.
Well, I think more women settle than men.
Do you?
I think so. I think because we feel like we're losing something because of we are women, you know, like we're losing our looks, we're losing whatever, you know what I mean? So we start feeling a certain kind of way.
Stonewall said, I've dated from 19 to 55 thus far.
At 46?
At 46.
Okay.
He said, but my age limit to settle down is 35.
So he'll date a 19-year-old?
He said he dated the range of 19 to 55, but his preference is
I feel...
my age limit to settle down is
That is my
35.
opinion, though. I don't know. That's just...
Well, if that works for you,
Yeah.
cool.
Nunu says, as women/men, have to keep an open mind and heart and stop putting an age on limit on real love.
Oh, girl. A 43-year-old woman is not being in love with no 20-year-old man. I don't give a damn. I mean, I'm just saying because my kids, I wish my daughter, let's see, they're 25. I would be very skeptical of them bringing like a 40-year-old man in my house.
Yeah, you wouldn't like
You
that.
know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess it's just different strokes for different folks. But for me, like, this is the 4 opinions. The number 1 opinion, I just think something's wrong with that. I just think
Just for you.
for me, for my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody else
Our
probably.
little brother who's 30, he just turned 31?
Yep,
he just
he's
turned 31.
yeah.
And
Okay.
he come with an 18-year-old and bring it to you and like this your sister-in-law, you'll be okay with that?
No, he likes
He likes
Nika's
some older.
age.
Oh.
He
And
likes
I don't
some-
like that.
Now that I'm looking sideways at,
I don't like
my
that.
little brother likes older women.
Oh, okay, so he like in the 50s and 40s?
Well,
Ain't nobody no 50s.
I'm just saying, he like 50s and 40s.
40s, he like them older.
Okay.
Older.
Yeah, he likes them older, and I don't like that. But it's his life, so it is what it is.
Right, that's how I feel.
We can't really.
Okay, so then we said,
I would just say cougars.
Who said that? Okay, so here go another one. I had when you settling at the 40, arguing.
I don't do arguing. I'll walk away. I don't do arguing. I
No,
don't
she
do
doesn't
well
do
with it. I
arguing.
don't do arguing. You be arguing to yourself. You be talking to
Right,
yourself.
I'm like-
We on the phone, click. We in the person to person. I'll walk away. And please don't come to the door knocking on it. Please don't come banging on it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because I'm going to open up the door and walk right past you, out the door, and be gone. I don't do arguing. I don't. I just don't. I'm too old, too tired. I don't do it. That's.
So would you be set? So that'll be a settle if you did after 40.
Or are you saying now you are like that? Before were you like that?
Now I'm like that.
Mhm.
I'd say at the 40, at my older age, yes. Now younger, hell, we get down.
Right,
We
all
be
day.
arguing to the end. I'd be like, I know I'm right. He know he right.
Right.
We be arguing to the end.
Okay.
Now
That's what I
it's
thought.
kinda like,
That's why I said that.
Ooh, wait, give me some. What you got in your cup, girl? But look, so I said 40. That was another thing that I realized that I was settling for. Why am I arguing with a 50-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
He should know better.
Right, it should be some form of granted communication at our age.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you're literally like arguing, and because this person is setting their ways and you not setting your ways, and you like. So I'm like, that's another thing I would not settle for after 40. I'm like, I'm not gonna argue about it. Like we should be able to communicate.
Mhm.
Like I actually looked at you and your husband, how you guys communicate to each other, and I'm like, man, you know, maybe when I was married, maybe if I would have, you know, had a softer approach, or you know, you kind of look at your friends that's in, you know, long marriages, because I was totally opposite from that. I was totally opposite from that. Like it was like, honey, like if they would work my nerves, like you are getting on my nerves right now. You know what I mean?
You get on my nerves.
But I mean, just like the softer approach of, you know, like, honey, and you know, you could probably be irritated, but I always had to let him know how I was feeling, what I was feeling, you know. Whatever the situation was, like I was very opinionated, and like I had to let this person know. Like it could be anything. But I said now, one thing that I do notice that when I was dating is that I settled for arguing. Like I don't know, like after 40 you should not be arguing. Like, you
Sure,
should be
sure.
able to communicate without, you know.
Have adult
Some people like
conversation.
arguing. Some people like confrontation.
Because that it shows that what they
I
love you,
don't
you
know.
love them.
I don't know.
Mika,
Women are drama. We just are.
no, I know a man who literally like to argue like everything could be rosy and he'll just come out of nowhere and you'd be like, well, damn, where did that come from? I mean, we were sitting here enjoying life and you want to start bringing up something else. Why? Like,
Men are
literally,
dramatic too,
why?
bro.
I can't say just women. I have to, you know, say men have their fair share, and I won't say all of them are that way. I'm just
Right.
noticing, and he's younger.
Mhm.
He's younger than me. So, and I'm not saying all younger men are that way because she just said,
right.
she just said older men tend to be that way too. So I'm
They
just
was the
saying,
worst.
I don't know. Maybe they want the attention.
God.
It's gotta be attention.
I'm
It's
telling
gotta
y'all,
be
I need
attention.
somebody
It's for the
to,
reaction.
after this show
Exactly.
though, I'm gonna need
It's
some
gotta be.
therapy because I had the worst dating experience with 50 plus year old men.
Maybe you should go younger.
No, I'm not, no. Angie said, I'm not going younger, baby. I'm not babysitting. What's her name? Angie Taylor. I like what she said. A heated. what she
That's
said?
right, Robert.
Wait a minute, she said a heated fellowship is good. Leads to makeup sessions. Look at old Angie. How old are you, Angie?
Yeah.
We want to know how old you are. Well, okay, so that's no. Yeah, she said. But I'm not. Yeah, so the arguing part is like no. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going through a stage right now. I really got a freaking tunnel vision of what dating for me and relationships and friendships after 40 is going to look like. I mean, because I know it's not going to be drama free. I just need somebody that's got the same kind of thinking pattern, you know?
Right.
And anything outside of that will be settling. And that's what we was kind of talking about. Like, when we just start comparing, I don't kind of remember. That's why I hate when we have these conversations outside of the podcast. We had some stuff, like, we was literally, like, getting heated. Like, I'm settling for this. Like, this person couldn't say this to me back in the day. It's like, man, like, they would do things, and it's like, oh, okay. But it's like, your patience is increasing. But it's like, when you look at it, like, is it really
Is it
patience? No.
Or what is it?
Right.
Really? There's
Like,
something
why are
else
you here?
that's making you put up with mess.
Right, like why are you here? And you have to really come to be, you have to have a self moment to realize that. And that's where I'm at, because I'm like, no, like some of the things that I settled for, and it wasn't even because it was after 40. I think we just said after 40, like, how did you get into this web of settling, period, after everything you've been through? And it took those experiences for me during the dating season to understand, like, why did it happen? You know?
Well, Paris just made a very good point. I'm gonna have to read this one. She says, "The older you get, you learn to pick your battles." Bingo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
That's true.
Can't fight over everything.
Michelle says, "I live in North Charlotte, North Carolina, and these Southern men are so different from the men in Minnesota," because she used to live here in Minnesota as well.
So is it better or worse, Nunu?
She also said, "Communication is key, real talk. I don't do the arguing thing ever. My oldest son's dad was like that. Ugh."
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, you find the men who just wanna.
But do we really have, is anybody on here that's under 40 that can say, oh, Angie's 45, that they're under 40, that they already have these things already in motion versus now? Oh, Angie said because we never learned how to date. I get that. You're right. Because everybody I dated are married.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I never had an opportunity to really figure it out. You know what I mean? And so I said at 40, that's why I be hard on my children right now to kind of give them the dynamics of dating, the dynamics of, you know, figuring out who they are, figuring out, you know, what things, even though they do what they want to do. But I never had, like, everybody that I dated, I married. So that part is like, so you never get the, do I like this or don't I like this? Do I want this or don't I
So
want
you
this?
haven't got a chance to find you and what you like.
Right.
Well, now you're just figuring it out. But
Yeah,
at the same
I mean,
time, you're running
40,
across.
yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a long time, because it's like from 18 all the way up to what?
How long have you been divorced?
Now, probably like 7 years. But it was still the dating afterwards. Like, it was just still right after dating. But then I knew not to marry. It could have been the same thing, but I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing this again.
So in between your marriages, when you say you dated and you married them right away,
Dating while married. Yes, dating while married and then married.
So you married and then dated the next fella you married?
Dated.
The next fella.
Married, dated.
So you never had the chance to talk to different men to get a feel. Okay. No, because I've been divorced. No, I've been divorced for years, and I just refuse to date. I'd rather talk to a man and see where his head is, his mindset is, before I even go that first date route. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get a feel first before I say I'm dating someone, or I'll say I'll go out on a date. I'll go to coffee time, lunch, that kind of thing. But I won't say I'm dating somebody unless I feel like we're getting ready to go to that next step.
No, married and dating, and then married. It was all in the same loop.
Okay.
So you could be married, and then you check out a relationship, and then you start dating, then you marry.
So I wrote down creatures of habit.
Yes.
So that's probably what you got caught yourself up into.
Yeah. And that's why I try to tell everybody, like, it's not worth it for the 40 part. Like, you should not have to wait until you turn 40 to figure that out. So the past, 2 years.
You just started thinking about
Then, like,
seriously.
and then when you put all those things, when you put all those eggs in the basket, then you're like, yeah, that was some settling stuff, but you don't know what settle looks like because you're a mother, you're a wife, you got your parents telling you what it's supposed to look like, you got your friends telling you what it's supposed to look like, but you don't know what it looks like.
Right.
When you get into that, so now everything to me now is like foreign, but it's not a bad foreign. Like I'm exploring it because now it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So that's again, that's how we start talking about, like, dang, I settled for a lot of stuff that I didn't have to, and I probably could have avoided it at like 20.
Now when you say settle, okay, so here it goes back to, do you settle or do you just deal with it?
It's settling. Once you find out who you are, you're settling. By any means necessary, I think you're settling. If it's anything that does not compromise, and settling is like almost the same, but it's on a different wave. You know what I mean? Like, once you know who you are, if you are a person, let me tell you, one time I had a husband that was like, was he my husband or was I dating him? I don't know, but for me, like, I was sick. So I used to wear kind of like revealing stuff, or whatever. I had like the shirt with your little boobs out back in the day. And I always get on this like Marilyn Monroe stuff. So like, come pick me up or whatever. But I was sick. But he's like, no, you wore that stuff out, so you come walk to the car. And I was like, and I still remember this. This was like 15 years ago. And I was like, what person would have knew that I was sick? And just because I had on this little halter top or whatever, like, it was cold, like, he would have picked me up. And it still sticks out to me because I remember just as like a little girl. I wasn't a little girl. I was like 20 something, like 30 something. But I remember I was like, man, like, I'm settling because no one is supposed to treat me like that. You get what I mean? Like, even if it was just pick me up.
Did you continue to date?
No, we were married, actually. But see, this is the thing about it. That's why I dated while I was married.
Okay.
So it wasn't, I never dealt with it. It was just go to the next. So, okay, this ain't what. So it was never like a settling thing. It was always, I took care of it. So.
We got 4 comments. Nunu said that she loves the Southern men there. Prince says.
Oh, sure.
Let me go back up here because he's got. Okay, so Prince says, I am under 40 and I got my emotions under control, but I've been teaching empowerment and critical thinking classes for over 10 years. These were skills that I wasn't raised with, but I've learned over the years. Stonewall says, in today's world, you have to talk with someone before you start dating them. And then Tuno says, you have to start from scratch, build a friendship, and make the decisions to go with the next phase. Go with the next phase. I'm sorry, you guys, this writing is just so small. Okay, I gotta.
She over 40, she needs them cheaters.
But I was you too, Tiffany.
Okay, knock it off. Okay, so he says friendship to make the decisions to go to the next phase of a relationship, because that will determine whether you can or will grow with that individual. So that should eliminate your thoughts of settling. Before you get to that point, nowadays it's hard dating 40 and above, and without juggling someone you have to move in God's speed. And don't settle to make someone an opinion until you find the right person. Get to know one another genuinely, because women and men that have mistreated, that has been mistreated by the opposite sex, will take it out on the good guy, good or good guy or a gal. That could be good for them, and this cycle repeats.
Is he married?
No.
Oh.
Wait, no, I don't think he is.
Well, guys, you know what time it is.
Yeah, we've done one over 8 o'clock.
I know, but you know what? I want to say one thing with British, and this is the whole perspective of the thing. When we know our worth, we don't settle. When you enjoy your own company, it becomes a challenge to let just anybody in to share your peace and your joy.
That is the truth.
And that's the biggest thing. I just think after 40, 30, 20, and that's the whole thing. I didn't really have nobody to like pour that into my spirit as I grew, but I absolutely do it to my girls right now to understand that you don't have to get to 40 to get all these light bulb moments like you can get them right now. And it is. Anything to me, and it's just my opinion, with the 4 opinions, is on 3 of us here, but in my opinion, anything that compromises how you feel about yourself, to me, is settling. Like anything that, you know, I mean, it would be different things, like maybe you recycle, I don't recycle, little things like that, but I mean, when it starts to alter your mental, your physical, your emotional, I just think it's settling.
Yeah.
Especially if you got to a healthy place within yourself. So that's what all I got to say
I
about
agree.
it.
All right.
Any final words?
No.
No final words, Edie?
No.
So, Edie is available. Go to her. Thank you guys again for tuning in.
Yeah,
This was awesome. I mean, we was kind of worried that we wasn't gonna make the whole hour, but again, email us www.4 what is it?
Opinion.
D4 or yeah, the 4 opinions.com. We are always looking for people to come in with us on the podcast. Like we said, we kind of keep the topics hot and juicy, and you know. So thank you guys for tuning in. Next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Yep. You guys have a great night. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Let's see here.
That was good. Oh, thank you, Angie. Oh, Angie is eating.